You made your way to realistic sourdough bread making. I make my sourdough bread just like my grandmother made, and probably yours too, because all that fancy stuff they have now is crazy. Do you think that during the Great Depression, or during all these times where these women were working themselves to death, hand washing clothes, do you think they took the time to put designs in their bread loaves? And do you think they had those baskets? And do you think they had those proofing baskets and all those things? They didn't have wax paper. They didn't have any of those things. You don't need any of that to make sourdough bread. People have been making sourdough bread forever and ever and ever. Now, I do prefer to use my KitchenAid just because it makes my life easier. But besides that, this is just standard stuff that most people have at home. Let's not ever complicate things. Also, people say that they can make their sourdough starter work without any sugar. I don't know. My sourdough starter is not built like that. This is Brenda. She's 50 years old, and she's not built like that. She's going to have some sugar to get going. If not, she won't rise, and you're not going to be eating her bread. On top of that, a lot of people don't put oil in their recipes. I'm not following that, but I definitely have to put oil in mine. And if your sourdough starter does not float after you fed it, then you need to stop right there because you're wasting flour. If it don't float, then it's not going to make any bread. Measurements are not precise. I do not have a scale. Do you think your ancestors had a scale when they wouldn't measure out the bread? No. I use tap water to make my bread, and it turns out just fine. I use tap water to feed my sourdough starter. Turns out just fine. I don't even buy water bottles because it's crazy. Now, I do microwave my tap water for 5 minutes. Then on top of that, y'all, I use this. Look at this old Corningware. All these things are old, and it doesn't matter because it makes bread just the same, and it probably tastes just the same. It's just missing a fancy design and all those things. I don't have one of those scouring tools or whatever where you can put the design in there. All I have is what I have, and that's what I made bread with, and I didn't buy anything extra. Well, you do have to buy unbleached flour. That is a non-negotiable. You got to buy that King Arthur's unbleached flour. If not, well, you just not going to have no bread because that one's a non-negotiable for me. Also, my recipe calls for potato flakes in my sourdough starter, and I don't know, but it works. And that's just the recipe I have from a really old cookbook. I started making bread after I got my gallbladder removed because well, there's just so many beneficial gut health components to it.